Hey everyone, Craig Williams back here with another video. In this video I'm going to cover layering kicks and snares. So first off, we've got a simple 808 kick drum sample here, which I'll play. And as you can hear there's not much attack to the actual drum sample. So what I would do to this is just add in a simple little click. I just typed in click into my sample library and then just auditioned a couple and found one that kind of worked. So you can hear that it's just a little click, and I've just kept that. It had a little bit more to the end of it, and I just tidied it up a little bit so I didn't get that extra little sound at the end. And then in the way of processing for the actual kicks, for the 808 kick, I just put an EQ on there, which I'll play for you now. That's without and that's with. Just taking out some of the low end to tighten up the bass on the kick, and just taking out the top end because we got the click in there as well. And then on the actual click, I've just taken out all the low end and just boosted a little bit where the actual attack of the click is. Next, I've just bussed those two down to this channel here. And then on this channel, I've got a EQ, again taking out some of the bass and a bit more of the attack. And then I've got a compressor and just compress the two signals together to help glue the sound together and make them sound like one kick rather than a kick with a click on top or a click with a kick underneath. So it sounds like this. Obviously, you'd spend a bit more time to dial in the sound so it sounds a bit more together and EQing it a little bit better, but this is a good starting point. And then as you build the track, you can see whether the clicks stand out too much or if there's too much bass in the kick or whatnot. Next up, we've got a subby kick with a rather top end sort of kick sample. So the subby kick sounds like this. As you can hear, it's really subby. There's a little bit of attack on there, but it's still really subby. And on this, I just put an EQ on. As you can see, just took out all the top end and just tightened up the bottom again. For the high sample, we've got just this high kick sample. As you can hear, there's a lot of top end in there. So for this, I just took out the low end. You can see where I took out a lot of the low end because the sub fills up so much of that. Again, I bust these down to help glue the sounds together onto this channel. And here I've just got the low end taken out, and then I've just boosted a little bit in the lows there, and a little bit more in the highs. You can hear that this bottom sample comes in a little bit late, so again you have to just move it back and forth to really dial in the sound. And then to help glue the sounds together, got a compressor. Nice quick attack, a medium release. One a slow knee, and then just play with the threshold and gain until you get something that sounds kind of how you want it. Next up, we've got layering snares. This is something that I actually like doing, and you'll hear it a lot of the guys in like dubstep, and if they want the big snare sound, this is some of the techniques that they would use to achieve that. So first up, just got the simple snares sample. You can hear there's a fair bit sort of covering a lot of the frequency range there, but it's still a pretty high sort of snare sample. Next up, sorry, just take these off. You can hear now there's a lot more low end in that snare sample. Next up, we've got a high clap. So at the moment we've got a low snare and a high clap, so you're covering those two frequency ranges. I also like to just push the claps a little bit in front. It gives a bit more of attack to the actual sound. Those two together. And then last but not least, we've got just a white noise synth. Just got two oscillators with white noise on either. And what you can do is pan those to give a real nice big stereo width. And then I've just EQ'd out all the low end and all the high end because we've already got these two samples here that sit in that frequency range. And then for that, I've also just brought up the release of the sample, so it gives it this like the illusion of a snare or something like that. Again, I've bussed all those together, so all those three sounds together. You can hear the difference from the samples. And then I've just added an EQ. Boost a little bit of the highs and taken out the boxiness of the snare there. And then compress them all together. So yeah, that's about it. If you got any questions, feel free to drop us a line. And if you want anything else covered in any future videos, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try and cover it. Until next time, see you later.